want to talk about like what's your usual like day to day like workflow. You know, how to like day starting session. What's the kind of workflow for you?
So most of my sessions start at 1. Usually the night before, I try and I don't even record anything. I've maybe find a patch, or like I'll think of some musical ideas. I'll listen to music, whatever. This is maybe 50% of the time. You know what? I found that when I go in with like ideas prepared, even if we don't use them or I know we're not going to use them, it makes me feel psychologically better. Going in, knowing that I have like a safety
Something
net,
in your back
trampoline
pocket
type of vibe, that I can just sort of like whip out. But also totally depends who I'm working with, what they do, and if they're songwriters, if I know they're bringing in something or whatever. And then, dude, it's such a hard question to answer because, which I'm sure you agree, every day is so different.
Yeah.
And I work on such a diverse, spectrum of music.
Yeah. Was it like a typical pop day? Like typical writers,
typical pop day. Yeah. I mean, it always just starts with a conversation and getting to know each other. And then from there, it's sort of like sussing out where they're at in life and on their project. And their not their project in life and on their sound, and then finding maybe the intersection of that, and then looking ahead to see if we can intercept like some sort of trajectory or make a totally lateral move and do something else. But a lot of times, dude, I'll have this pitch of like, listen, like you do sessions every day. This might be our only session together. Maybe we'll do more. It'd be sick if we just went a little crazy and did something like a little weird. You know what I mean?
I try and do that almost every time I'm with someone new, where it's like, you've been doing this thing for a while.
Yeah.
Like, let me take you here.
Yeah.
And like, if you don't like it, never work with me again.
Exactly.
Like, that's fine.
Yeah.
But like, let's just, I'm just such a big, like, I call it play, but I just want to play.
Yeah.
I just want to like have a weird piece of clay and just like see what happens if I start squishing it.
Exactly.
I even like compare it to like, I used to do this a ton as a kid, just like draw squiggly lines.
Yeah.
And then like make art out of it.
Yeah.
To, like, see. So that's how I like to do music.
Oh, that's such a good analogy, like symmetry. Yeah. That's such a good analogy. And a lot of it's just about like, when you listen to their music, it's like, okay, how can I take like their voice and like who they clearly are and just recontextualize it with different sonics. And that's sort of like my philosophy going into things. Not only that, but like how can we take what makes them unique, isolate it, and then blow it up and like make that the whole fucking thing.
Right, make it about the person.
It's a philosophy that you can kind of apply to even just a song.
Yeah.
Okay, like what's good and unique about this song? Let's isolate that and then blow it up and make it the entire thing, or build around that.
And really I think perspective on it,
and I think that's the artists that survive have sort of, whether knowingly or unknowingly, just follow. It's who they are. They follow that philosophy, and they're self-aware about their strengths, and they play with them, and they take it to the max. And saturate is the best word possible.
Yeah. Saturate. I think too. It's a word I say a lot on the podcast, but like cringe.
Yeah.
It's like, you can't be afraid of it, and like what sometimes in a room or like when you're making music, you go like, is this cringe? It's like it might feel like it, but it's probably not.
Yeah.
Like you could say any artist in the world, someone thinks is cringe. It doesn't matter who they are. It's like
100%.
Someone is gonna think they're cringe, but it's like most people or their fans are gonna fucking love it.
Yeah.
Like I guarantee you, like biggest artist in the world, Taylor Swift, 50% of the world, I'm sure, if not more, thinks she's cringe.
Right.
But who cares?
You know what she says.
She's killing it.
Right.
Yeah, I want to talk the workflow a little bit more. So in the room, song is written, you get the vocal down. What's your workflow post that? Are you a day of bounce guy? Do you like to work on it a little bit more? How do you like to get records out to the other creatives?
Very, very depends. There was this whole phase in like the first couple years I was here where I would do the bare minimum in the session, and then I'd be like, cool, I'll send this in a month. You know what I mean? And then I had like all these like unfinished records just stacking up, and my manager John, who's the greatest person on the planet, would hound me and be like, send this and that. And then I was like, this is not a productive workflow and this makes no sense. And nowadays I get it there, day of, pretty much. And then if things need to be done, we pass notes along and I want them to like it. And usually what'll happen is I'll like record vocals in a super, just like, it's not organized. And my sessions, by the way, my projects, disgusting.
I would probably
Nothing's
faint.
colored. Nothing's named. None of the tracks. I drag and drop. I go. So a lot of when they leave the room, when they leave my house, a lot of it is organizational and.
So you eventually get it organized.
You know what? No. What I do is reorganize my vocal buses and my vocal routing, and then like make the vocals sound pristine.
Right.
Because in the moment I'm about getting and collecting.
Yeah, of course.
And then